on, everybody? Downtown Manhattan, financial district. We're going to wait for a couple people to get on real quick. I'm going to give everybody 1 minute. Shout out to everybody that's going to see this. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in live. Give us like another 30 seconds, and then we're going to jump right into this. Yeah, let's go. Shout out to everybody that's on here real quick. Alright, right now we're downtown Manhattan. We're actually on Wall Street. Right behind us is first president, you know what I'm saying, George Washington. That's where he took the oath of office. Right here, you see the ticker. This is the New York Stock Exchange building. And just for the movie buffs and the comic book heads, in The Dark Knight Rises, this is where Bane broke out of the building and ran down the street and all that. When we do this video on YouTube, I'll put the clip up so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of history on this block or whatever, so I just want to jump right into it. So we're calling this the State of the Union, and we're in the financial district. This is where all of the money really is at, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. It's the end of the year. Normally you do the State of the Union in the beginning of the year to talk about what's going to go on moving forward. I'm not necessarily the president of the United States, so I'm going to do mine to the end of the year so we can end this year strong and see what it is that we can do to start 2025 the right way. I'll take a little survey. You guys could comment on whatever it is down here, or when we put it up on YouTube, you can put your message in the comments. But like 99 out of 100 people that I talked to say that 2024 was a bad year for them. Most people because of money. Price of groceries, the price of rent, price of insurance and taxes going up for people who own homes, interest rates on mortgage rates. So y'all know I deal in real estate, and a lot of my friends are realtors, brokers, and that sort of thing. So a lot of people in my network are feeling that fiscal crunch because homes aren't selling like they used to, and people can't afford to get mortgages the way that they used to. So with that being said, there's a few things that I kind of wanted to discuss to see how these things are impacting you and see what you could do to possibly change those things moving forward for 2025. I'm also going to say, I'm not on camera, so like I can't see the questions as y'all see. If y'all have questions or whatever, drop your questions, drop your comments. I'll do a section where I stop and we could do Q&A. This is going to be free of charge. Clients, non-clients, you can ask me any question you want and I'm going to answer it for free as long as you're on this live. What up, Patty? What up, O? What up, my man Axel? Shout out to everybody for tuning in. So that being said, we'll start like this. I want y'all to ask yourself a question. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do with your day? How would you spend your time? I'm going to kind of fast forward for the sake of the live, but you don't have to have an answer right now. I want you to think about that. Most people are going to have an answer that's based in finance. They say, well, if I had money, I'd invest there, I'd buy that, I'd go on this vacation, I'd do this type of thing. But the reality is that's still a money-based answer. And why that's important is because most people are spending their time trying to figure out how to get money, how to get out of the rat race, how to get out of their job. And they're not thinking about quality of life. They're only focused on money. Once you get to a certain level of money, things get boring. After you buy so many cars, after you buy so many watches, so many chains, you go on so many vacations, there's really nothing else. So you got to start asking yourself, what is your purpose? What are the things that really matter? Now, I know some of y'all, when you talk to me, you hear about good problems, or if you talk about your problems, I'll talk about my problems, 50 grand here, 100 grand there, whatever it is. You're like, I want those problems. After talking to so many people and hearing what people are truly dealing with, I can't really think of a problem I have right now that money couldn't solve. So we're blessed in that sense. But after talking to some clients and some people that are around me and hearing about certain deaths, loss of loved ones, teens included, people who have committed suicide because of one issue or the next, people who have debilitating illnesses, money can't fix those problems. So when I think about the things that I'm dealing with and the stress that I have and the pressures I have, I say I really wouldn't want some of these other problems and some of these situations other people have to deal with. So I want y'all to think about your problems and then maybe talk to a couple people and see, would you really exchange those problems? Think about the worst thing that you're going through right now and ask yourself, could it be worse? Could it be better? The answer is both. The reality is you're the person that could change your circumstances. If you're in a bad spot right now, it's because you put yourself there. If you're in a good spot, it's because you put yourself there. And it's also a matter of your mindset. We could both encounter the same exact situation, the same problem, and I could be optimistic about it, and you could be pessimistic about it. So mindset is going to make the difference in how all of this works. And I want everybody watching this to remain optimistic, because remember, it can always be worse. If you're having financial trouble right now, we got to talk about discipline. Now I'm going to bring up a few points. I'm not going to go in depth because this is a short 15-20 minute video or whatnot, but y'all know y'all can reach out and we could talk about this. Coaching and working with me next year is going to be way more feasible, way more affording. I'm not doing any more one-year contracts, nothing like that, because what I find is that the people that I work with that can afford that are not the people who need the education the most. And the people that I've been working with this year, it's not even about the $2,000 sign-up fee, because we're doing several hundred thousands, millions of dollars in business, and that $2,000 isn't really significant in those conversations. So by charging that fee for an annual mentorship, what ends up happening is I end up ostracizing the people who really need the information but may not have $2,000 readily available. So I'll talk about what next year is going to look like maybe later. I'll put it in the comments when this video goes up on YouTube. Remember, if y'all have any questions, y'all can feel free to ask. This is an opportunity for anybody to ask questions, 100% free, no charge, client, non-client. As long as I'm on live, I'll answer any questions you want. LLC questions, a finance question, anything that you wanted to pay me for or didn't want to pay me for. Just because you're on your live, my free gift to you is I'll answer your question free of charge. So I just want to take a second to see who's going on. Let's see. Alright, my man Axel. So you believe you'd invest all the money in the world and you take care of your family and you take a little bit to treat yourself. And shout out to my man Axel. This gentleman owns multiple properties. He's in the service, so thank you for your service. And he's a young man, early 20s, and this is somebody who's been a client of mine for 2 years, and you can see he already has the right mindset. He right now is overseas serving a tour, and he's making the time to make sure he's checking in a lot. We need more like you, brother. And so there's just a couple other things I kind of wanted to talk about, but it's really just your mindset. It's how you're going to frame these certain situations that is going to determine whether you can even get out of a situation or not. And if you're in a tight situation, you can't stay focused on the problem. You have to try to remove yourself from the situation and try to see how you could plan to get your way out of it, whether it's short-term or long-term. Worrying, stressing about an issue or a problem is not going to solve it. You got to have a game plan. You got to figure out what you're going to do to move forward to change that. In another sense, I want y'all to think, we could even make it biblical, we could take it to the Quran, we could make it semi-religious. You could think about anybody in the Bible. Everybody had losses. Everybody had tough stories. Reminds me of Hussain in the Bible. He had 72 martyrs. He lost everything. His baby was killed in his arms, and he still never strayed on his faith in the Creator, in Allah. If you want to take it to Christianity, we got Matthew. You could go to Job. Job had everything, all these earthly riches, everything, and he lost those things. Well, he didn't lose them, they were taken from him. But his faith never wavered. So again, I know a lot of people right now are feeling down, stressed. Y'all worried about the election, y'all worried about what Trump's going to do, or why Kamala lost, or whatever it is. The fact of the matter is, we got who we got, so we have to make the best of that situation, and we have to figure out what we're going to do with his policies and see how we could get what's done to benefit us. You can't cry over spilled milk. You got to focus on what you could do to improve where you are in life, and focus on your goals, your strategies, and your outcomes. So I'm going to take another break just for 2 seconds just to see, make sure there's no questions, comments, nothing like that. Shout out Shadell, thank you for tuning in. And shout out to everybody. I'm looking on another phone, so if I don't see you, I don't shout you out. There's nothing personal. You can drop a comment. wave or whatever. But thank y'all all for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all. We downtown Manhattan, Wall Street, Financial District, you know what I'm saying, in front of New York Stock Exchange. Just came out here to make sure I gave y'all a nice little message to end your year so you could get ready to start the next year the right way. So give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I get everything, and I'm checking everybody. So before I go, excuse me, I'm just trying to make sure we don't miss anything. The last message I'm gonna leave y'all with is you reap what you sow. A lot of people have a very short-term mindset when it comes to making money or investing in themselves. Think about the worker, the 9-to-5 person. If you told them you got to work for 3 months until you get a paycheck, most people would not take that job. It's like we brainwash or train into working a week or two, and if you don't get paid, it don't work. That's not how it works in the business world, in the entrepreneurial world. Sometimes it takes years, it takes months, it takes a lot of sacrifice to build something up to where you're actually going to start seeing money. So you got to be able to understand that you have a foundation, and the stronger your foundation, the bigger opportunities you have for growth. So if you're starting something, or you're thinking about something, or you're planning, do it now. Just start. Put pen to paper, start working on goals, start working on structure. If you need help with that, call me. I'll be glad to help you, because none of these things are going to happen if you're just talking about them and you're not making any movement. Those are called wishes. So with that being said, again, I'm not going to keep y'all too long. This is just a quick address. Again, while we downtown Manhattan, shout out everybody who tuned in. I appreciate y'all. We're definitely going to be in talks. I'm going to be a lot more accessible than I was over the last few months. Like I said, everybody had trials and tribs. You're going to see more videos about some of the stuff I was dealing with while we was out of the way. It looks like a question or something is coming in. All right, go ahead. I got you. I'm listening. Okay, what's something you wish you would have known before you started real estate? What was your biggest hiccup? One of the most important things I wish I knew before I first started investing in real estate was about financing. My first property I purchased cash, and I had no concept of what ROI, return on investment, or ROC, return on capital was. So I thought I was killing the game based on my rent roll. I put in $35,000 on a $70,000 co-op in Brooklyn back maybe 20 years ago. And then we were making $950 a month rent. So I thought I was killing the game because I was getting $475 a month. At that time, that was like almost like what my check was. So I thought I was killing the game. But the reality is, if you did the return on investment after you took out the HOA, property tax, and insurance and everything, I was only making 2 or 3%. So if I knew about financing, I would only put down 10%, 20%, $14,000, $7,000, and maybe I would have had a mortgage, but my return on investment would have been a lot better. And the time I bought was just before the 2008 crash. So there was a point where that $70,000 property ended up hitting $120,000 just before the boom. And actually, just to add another piece to that, I actually wanted to sell. My partner at the time, if you read the book Fear, that's Ajita, didn't want to sell because he thought it was going to go up forever. What ends up happening, the market crashed. We ended up getting only $90,000. I ended up buying them out and then selling it for $90,000 because I knew that nothing goes like this forever. Stocks don't do that. Crypto's not going to do that. Just for a marker, for people who watch this in months, Bitcoin is like a few dollars away from breaking 100K. So that's some more financial news. Start investing. You got to put some money aside. A job ain't going to do it for you. You're not about to have Social Security, especially by young folks. You're not going to have pensions. You're not going to have those things. So you have to take advantage of all of these opportunities, and you have to invest in your own financial security, your own financial education, and your own financial freedom, because nobody else is going to do it for you. The baby boomers had it way easier than us. I'm not going to get on the whole pedestal on that, but what you really need to do is focus on these things now, especially while you're young, so that you can do what you want to do sooner than later.
Rose says, no, they think you saying you're the GOAT.
Nah, I want to get like you, baby. I always tell my man Axel, at his age, he's light years ahead of where I was at his time. In the next 3 to 5 years, he's going to be doing incredible things compared to what he's doing now. And then 5 years from that, the same thing. So unless anybody else has any other questions or has anything else, holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful for everything. Be grateful. Appreciate y'all all. Just gonna give it 5 seconds. Anybody?
Girlfriends connected saying awesome.
Thank you for tuning in. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.